was a question asked privately in the chat room. A friend confided to her friend that she doesn't feel like she gives very good blowjobs and wants to know how to do it better.
Wow. Okay, so how to give better blowjobs? Well, there's lots of resources out there.
Yes.
Some of them are good, and some of them are stupid.
Now you know why we became friends. I love this.
Some of them are good, some of them are stupid. In general, without getting too graphic, without giving an actual demonstration, in general, to give a good blowjob, or, and it doesn't matter who the partner is, could be girl parts or boy parts, doesn't matter. Don't stay in the same place for too long.
Yes.
Until you hit that critical moment. And then stay there.
Yep. And then don't move.
And then don't move. Be willing to use everything that you have. A blowjob is not just about your mouth. It's also about your hands.
Not just about the cock either.
It's not just about the cock.
Very true.
There's other things there. Manipulate everything. Touch everywhere you can touch. Use other parts of your mouth, not just lips, not just tongue, not just teeth. All of these things. Change up, use combination. And I think, personally, the secret to a really great blowjob is the blowjob itself should not be foreplay. There should be foreplay before the blowjob.
I agree.
There should be some touching, there should be some stroking, there should be some tickling, there should be pinching, and, all kinds of stuff happening even before the blowjob happens.
I agree.
So these are my notes off the top of my head.
I also feel like you don't have to, from my limited personal experience, I don't feel like you have to, don't feel like you have to be like a girl in a video.
Right.
I don't feel like you have to, there's no comparison. This isn't who looks better doing it than who. No one's taping you unless you're being taped. And so if it's the privacy of your own home, it's not about, how far, how much. It's about your comfort. I know, and for me, this is a very personal thing. I have TMJ for my jaw, which is very painful and can be very painful. And you know what? You get creative, and that's just what you do. If you are uncomfortable, most of the time they're going to be uncomfortable. So it's about having that connection and having, I think that's the most important thing. If you're getting nervous or if you're, feeling weird, then chances are it's probably feeling weird to him as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't make the orgasm the goal.
Correct.
Do not make orgasm the goal. And whether that's blowjob or any other sex act, do not make orgasm the goal. The goal is enjoy what you're doing at the moment that you're doing it. And if you are enthusiastic and enjoying whatever it is you're doing,
absolutely,
your partner is likely going to be enthusiastic and enjoying what's going on too. So don't even worry about getting to that orgasm goal.
And ask. I mean, maybe something feels really good to one person. Maybe it doesn't feel good to somebody else. I think if you're in a relationship and feel like, hopefully you feel like you can talk to that person and say, how does this feel? I mean, you can do it in the moment. You can do it after. You can, there are a lot of different times where you can kind of talk about it. But what feels good to one person might not feel good to somebody else. And I think, it's about asking and listening to their reaction and all of those pieces. So
you're getting a lot of applause from the chat room, by the way.
Fantastic. Yay. And just like when you're testing out a new maneuver or a new toy, be willing to do a test session and say, look, the goal here is not going to be orgasm, but I'm going to try touching you in different ways and touching you in different places and different pressure and et cetera, and I want feedback. Tell me the whole time, yes, that feels good, or that feels really good, yeah, not so much, or I'm really sensitive there, or that's really ticklish and not in a good way, and just get feedback without, without being in the moment, without this being a sex act per se. Do a practice session. No nothing wrong with that. And again, if your partner's not up for a practice session, what else could they possibly want to do? Like, oh, you want to practice giving a blowjob? Yeah, I think I've got time for that. Chances are that'll be okay.
Give that a shot. And you can always, I mean, and you know, I think if it's not working or something's not, you can always move to something else. You can, you know, it's not blowjob or nothing.
No.
You know, that's not the only option. So there are lots of possibilities.
Yay! Fun. Good. So we have a couple of other news items that came up. Christina sent an article talking about long-term contraceptives gaining popularity. And long-term contraceptives include things like IUDs and...
Bad marriages.
I'm not sure if those are gaining popularity so much.
But they are long-term contraceptives.
But things like the patch that I think is 3 months long.
The injection.
The injection, that's six months long. Things like that. Although this article is actually saying that there's a decrease in sterilization, so people using sterilization as a means of birth control. Yeah, I'm hearing some strange sound. Sorry. Couldn't place where that sound went. So let's see. This is saying U.S. women using birth control who reported using a long-acting method rose from 2.4% in 2002 to 3.7% in 2007 to 8.5% in 2009.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's
significant. That is significant.
Now, I know of 2 women recently who both got pregnant and they both had an IUD.
Yeah.
Which
It can happen.
It can happen. It can happen.
Only a couple of methods are absolutely foolproof.
And there are a range of great methods. That was a new one for me. I had not
Can happen.
had that happen to anybody.
Can happen.
It's
very rare. Very
super
rare. Because IUD has even a higher rate of...
Well, I think some of the new ones that have been coming out have been even better, which is really impressive. Which is very cool. But the number, the 8.5 is huge. I'd be interested to hear 2010, 2011, you know, if that's even gone up further, because that's a high number.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it's saying that this tends to be used in women 25 to 39 and already having a child. So they're looking towards, I'm not quite sure that I'm ready for a second child or a third child, or maybe we're done, but I don't want to close up shop yet.
Right.
Just in case.
Right.
Whereas younger women are less likely to use it. But it's interesting because my research has shown me too that young women aren't always given these options for long-term contraception. Yep. So for them to say that young women under 25 are less likely to use it, it may be that they were not given the option.
I mean, I know from, you know, when I was in college, I think the stick, the implant, had just come out. It was months old. It had just been approved. And people were still a little skeptical.
Yeah.
I think that at least at that period of time, and I think for some women still, if it, you know, a tactile condom is, you know what you're using. With something like an injection or a patch, it's a little bit separated, so I can imagine that there might be maybe less knowledge about it, less understanding of it. At that age, you might not be going to the doctor as much, so you might not be asking those questions. And, so I can understand how maybe when you get into 25, 35, you know, you're talking more openly, you've already had a child, so you clearly have knowledge about what's happening in your body. When you're 18, 19, maybe you aren't asking those questions.
Yeah.
Unless you're Sky, who I adore, and every question, that's why I love her so much. Because she's the most amazing thing. But I think a lot of women don't ask those questions and don't kind of take ownership and ask about side effects and other things. And I think at my school there were several women who did the injection and didn't ask about side effects, and that was a surprise for them. So I think with anything that you use, that's an important topic to bring up.
Absolutely, and all birth control methods have side effects.
The whole chat room conferred that this guy is often awesome, and then she blew you all a kiss.
Well, she is awesome. She's amazing. I sent her a text to that like a couple days ago. You're awesome.
Just because.
She is. She's awesome.
All right, we're pretty much...
All right, fantastic. Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank
I'm
you.
so happy to have you here.
I'm
So we have
excited.
Sarah, and I'm so happy. So if you have questions, if you have guests, and remember, we're going to have Buck Angel in a couple of weeks, and we're going to interview him. We're going to, because of his schedule, we're going to record the interview and then bring it back to you. So we will be on live, and then we will show you the interview, and then we'll chat with you during the interview.
So send the questions before.
Yes,
send them
questions
now.
before. So he's going to be here in early September. I can't remember the date because I can't picture that in my head. And we will see you back on August 23rd.
Very exciting.
Here.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.